look up here.
All right, man.
Jimmy.
Was it?
Well.
Rachel, you started something.
Oh, no.
Sally's taking a picture of Vinny. Beer and his butt and his camera.
Are we done? Good done.
Yeah, we're done.
Will anything change? Something funny, Rach? Oh, gee. Shut the camera off.
Okay,
It ain't over till I sing.
everybody look this way.
Hey, Debbie, you got it?
No, stay there now. I'm taking that.
Pretty and Charlie and Sally and Debbie get in now.
All right.
Debbie and Holly and Vinny and Sally get in and get it with them.
Hey, look, don't break up, get over there.
We gotta get
Okay, now, big
write something down, but they all chickened out but me. But I think it's appropriate that I deliver it since I've been the biggest beneficiary of this family, being the youngest. And I've only been here for 40 of the 50 years. But in the 10 that preceded me being around, my parents got together and had Mark and Kathy and Bo, so that when I showed up, I had not only great parents but great siblings. And when I look at Connor and Megan and realize that they're almost exactly the same ages that Mark and Kathy were when I was born, we can look at little Cole over there and realize that was where I was when Mark and Kathy were running around. And for Bo and I, you know, Mark was always just a great idol, somebody to look up to, and he was apparently quite a terror for Nana and Dowd when he was growing up, and remains to be a terror for others. But he was always a great idol, somebody to look up to, and Kathy, of course, showed us that women demand to be respected, whether they deserve it or not, whether that meant beating us up or us beating her up. She was, and also, you know, both of them were just so funny. And then as we grew up, Bo was always there to play with and to fight with.
That's Bo. That's Bo.
Many instances there to protect me. Whenever I shot my mouth off or got into a fight that was a little over my head, it didn't matter because I knew Bo would come out and lose his cool and throw the guy off the monkey bars. And that happened. But of course, Nana and Dowd were always there to teach us and laugh with us and care for us. And I have to tell you, and everybody that's here knows that life with this family was always fun and interesting. We were always talking about the history of where we were and the nature, and coming here is so ideal because all of us came here every summer for so many days with all of our family, and my Nana would come down here, and Uncle Bill would come down here, and of course Dowdy's family that had been coming here for so many years. And we'd be singing and laughing and playing and teasing and loving each other in between very memorable moments of tearing each other's hair out and beating each other to a pulp. But some of the early memories that I'll never forget, and of course being the youngest, some of these are not as memorable to others of you, but my Nana taking Bo and I fishing when we were probably this big, and I relive it now by taking my kids out a lot, but it was just something that was so neat. And then Joe Bun's beer and 7-Up in the dirty glasses. He'd go to get us a 7-Up, and you could barely see through the glasses. Nunu's toenails, which we could find out here. Megan now picks them up and goes, "Dad, Nunu's toenails." She doesn't know Nunu, but she knows what her toenails look like. Aunt Margaret's back scratches and cupcakes. All the rocks. Elephant Rock, Profile Rock, Anawan Rock, Purgatory Rock, Dighton Rock, Plymouth Rock. I saw a new one coming in, Spindle Rock. The Krabby Wabbies at Mattapoisett. Megan got bitten by a crab yesterday, and I said, get back in there, and she did. She went in even though blood was drawn. Ice cream at Freight's on Sundays after coming back from Fall River, visiting all the relatives, visiting Mame and the aunts, with Nana and Dowd singing and harmonizing as if they were the best singers in the world. Let's see, with the four of us beating the crap out of each other in the back. And every time we go by a little pond on Route 24, we'd remember it as Turtle Pond because we released some stupid turtle. Mystery rides. Whenever you had a mystery ride, you had to worry because it was Dowd taking some Oktoberfest festival. And you were all excited. You got there, there was a bunch of people jumping around in shorts, drinking beer. Prison camp. Had to eat everything on your plate. Dowdy would remind you, I was at prison camp. Eat everything on that plate. I'll never forget my mother taking me when I was the youngest. I think Bo had finally gone to school and I was still the only one home. And she'd take me over to the Society for the Protection of Cruelty to Children. In the basement of, so I was 5 years old, in the basement of the Bristol County Courthouse there. In this dingy old basement, and she'd be folding these nasty old clothes to give to poor kids. And I'd be playing on these crappy little toys. And that's when I realized that some people really had it worse off than we had it. Because I'd want to take the toys home with me. And occasionally would get one. Ma singing in the choir in Dighton and being proud of hearing her above everybody else. Parsons Antique Shop and the covered wagon that we used to play on for forever. Of course, Thanksgiving at Nana's, and I remember in particular Christmas Eve at 17 Fayette Place where Bo and I, it was really snowing like crazy and we were just little rats because we moved out of there when I was 6 or something. And we were waiting so anxiously, and Nana and Dad were getting us all excited for Santa Claus. I'll never forget that. So even though I missed the first 10, during the second and third decades, I think I was the biggest beneficiary of the whole clan, and more than anybody got the benefit of Nana and Dowd and Mark and Kathy and Bo. And just love everybody. Love you all for coming out.
Thanks so much, buddy.
All right.
I'm next.
Okay. All right.
Bill.
Stay right there.
How many do we leave?
When I hear the expression beating up, Bob Dougherty was brought up as an only child. But in my family, there were 4, and Joan was the oldest. So it was a practice in the house that Joan would beat up the next one along. And that would be my brother Bob. As you all know, Bob is deceased. He killed in World War II. Dorothy and I had visited last October. I was buried in a beautiful place. Bob had been there in a prior time. All right, so Joan would beat up Bob. Then she would beat, and then he would turn around and beat her up. So no more, you know. Don't fool around with Bob. I was next on the list. I had to take the damn good licking from Joan until I got big enough to beat her up. Then pick on poor Jimmy. The same thing. So
I still had the
each
scars.
one had to beat Joan up in turn. If you thought that you had people beating up, you should have seen, you know those stairs going up to the right? The doors would be slamming, kids would be chasing. We kind of paired off. It was Joan and me against Bobby and me, Jimmy. And beating up
The low man of the totem pole.
Got the scars to
real.
prove it.
So that's where it all began, the beating up business. We'll go on from there. That's prior to 1946. So Joan fell in love with this handsome young guy, and off to war he went, and then came a telegram that he was missing in action, and there was all kinds of tears, in fact, hysterics. I had to give her a slap in the face to make her stop. That's the truth before we found out what happened to her. Hysterical. Then the nothing to do but to get married in 1946. And being the oldest surviving member of the family, it was my pleasure to give her away, and did so. Meanwhile, I thought for sure that we'd have to have a couple of strong-armed guys to carry Bob down the aisle. Because in those days, you take a look, how many people remember the actor John Carradine? You know, the hatchet face. He played in a lot of horror movies. John Carradine, well, this guy didn't have a lick on him. He's got a lot of weight on him today, but by God, in those days, I said, you know, Joan's coming down on my arm. I'm very serious if you look in that picture. But I said, how the hell is Bob going to make it down the aisle? He's so goddamn skinny. He'd have to put some time in the hospital and so on. Well, things have happened since then. As a matter of fact, we're kind of an extended family. We've been doing these Thanksgivings now since the days of Nana. I can tell you that, for example, that Mark, when we went to his house some years ago, broke into tears to say that he had spent every Thanksgiving of his life with the Conroy and Dougherty family. And that made me feel good. And let's just continue along as we can. In fact, Sylvia and Jim have got the pleasure. So with that, I think that everybody ought to give a round of applause to people who stayed together for 50 years, have a grand family, nice grandchildren. We're delighted to be here with you. Jimmy.
Yes, I'm here.
Get up here and have a few words.
How can I follow that act?
Oh, come up here. Jimmy, come up here.
Okay.
It's Jim's
I
turn.
just want to say thanks a lot, but what he didn't tell you was when we were caught, and there's very few people that knew us before we were married. He and Jimmy did, Tommy Burns did, Peggy did, but these two guys, when I would call her up on the phone and say, hi, it's Bob. Can I speak with Joan, please? Now, there's a bathroom right next to where the phone is. One of them had a quart of water. She'd be right with you, just like a cow pissing on a flat rock. She's done. She'd be right. Here she is.
Go in the toilet. Wait a minute. That's true.
He stole my line. I was going to recount that story.
That's
of course, sorry. I was just a foil here. He's never originated in my mind. There's the one right there. But at any rate, it's certainly nice to see everybody. And 50 years, I can't believe it. Here I was, dressed in a monkey suit at 16 as an usher at your wedding.
Well, there I was at 22, and another one.
That was nice.
Unbelievable.
I think you should do the skit where one of you would be Joan and one would be Bob, and you'd be trying to carry her over the front.
We know he could never carry her over.
She never missed a trick, Peggy.
Well, thanks everybody for coming. I really appreciate it. Pleasure. We had it all. We still got it. You know, before the war, we had love and romance, and it's still there. From high school proms to missing in action, I was only shitting. You know.
Can I get a picture of your wedding party?
All right, we got to cut the cake now, Dowd.
Dowd and Nana. I want to get Dowd and Nana and Billy and Jimmy and Petty and Tommy.
Stop. You're gonna get drunk.
Where are we going?
Downstairs, if I do.
Aren't you in the wedding party? Aren't you in the wedding party? Yeah. They want a picture. And you also?
Yep. Jimmy. Yep, I'm here. Wedding party.
Right here.
We got 12. We got a
Well, I didn't hear anything from you.
That's right. I don't have to say a word.
Right
It's all been said.
It's all been said.
It's all been said. There's nothing to say. Chris did a great job. Uncle Bill.
Right here. Go ahead.
Move in, Billy. That's it.